Hi guys, it's me, I'm back. Welcome to another episode on my channel. uh, I haven't done this in a minute, but there's a very good reason behind it. But I am back right now and I just want to encourage y'all. I'm just trying to speak encouragement, you know, and it's just I've been reading the book of Genesis, and I stumbled upon. I didn't stumble upon. I literally started reading the story of Joseph from when he was, a young kid with his brothers, being hated on by his brothers because his father loved him, because he had all these, dreams that made him seem better than his brothers, and this inflicted hate upon him. But anyway, that's not what we're going to focus on today. I just want to encourage you on the matter of, you know, where you at is not final. God has a greater plan for your life. And I know that sometimes people are in situations where you're like, I can't believe I'm at this spot, or I've been waiting for God to remove me. I've been waiting, Jesus, I've been praying. Can you please step it up? Like I want to move from this season to the next, or you know what I mean? And when I was reading the story of Joseph at the point where he was in prison, right? And he was sent to prison because his master's wife, when he was a slave, accused him of trying to get with her. Okay, and he didn't. He ran away when she was trying to seduce him. But anyway, she accused him of that, and he was sent to jail. He was sent to prison for like a couple of years apparently, but it was a few. So what happened was, as he was in jail, he was in a cell, or he was in this jail with the king or Pharaoh's cupbearer and a baker. So these two guys had a dream, and Joseph was basically the only guy who could interpret it for them. So he told them what the dream meant, and it actually came to pass after 3 days. And then, Joseph said something to the cupbearer. He was like, listen, dude, please remember me when you get to the Pharaoh and tell him what I've done for you. Please help, get me out of here. I'm trying to leave this jail cell. And Joseph was trying to push his way out. He was trying to get out, and I don't blame him. I mean, if I'm in a prison, best believe I'm trying to get out, especially if I didn't do anything. So this is what was happening. He was an innocent guy in jail. But the Bible tells us that God was with him wherever he was. Okay, when he was in jail, the Bible tells us that the Lord was with him. Okay, so this should kind of encourage you that no matter what pit you may be in, if you are a child of God, God is with you. No matter what kind of situation you've thrown yourself into, God is with you. His love, you can never be separated from his love. You may be in jail, he with you. You may be in a mental jail in terms of your own, your own thoughts. You may be in a depression. You may be feeling some type of way about your life, but always remember that God is with you. Okay? But anyway, so it says in Genesis 40, verse 23, the Pharaoh's cupbearer that I was talking about. He then, it says here, Pharaoh's chief cupbearer, however, forgot all about Joseph, never giving him another thought. Isn't that the worst? Doing all these amazing things for people and then they forget about you, right? But for me, I believe that this was a God-orchestrated forget. God allowed this man to forget about what Joseph did because it wasn't God's timing yet for Joseph to leave jail. Now that sounds crazy, but I firmly believe that God will keep you in a spot for a reason. Okay, he will keep you there to grow you, to mature you, to build, to create your character and to just fix you up. Okay, so I firmly believe that it wasn't Joseph's time to leave in chapter 40 verse 23, because if that man had remembered, he would have been like, okay, cool, so Pharaoh, there was this guy who helped me out in jail, can we please bust him out? And my thing is, if that had happened in chapter 40, what would have happened to Joseph then? Because what's imperative is that in chapter 41, that is when 2 years later, listen to this, chapter 41 says, 2 full years later, Pharaoh dreamed. And when Pharaoh had a dream 2 years later, that is the only time God had orchestrated for Joseph to then come into, to be released from jail. So sometimes you just need to stick in jail for a while, okay? Even if you're innocent, even if you feel like you shouldn't be in that situation, best believe that God works all things together for the good of those who love him. Even if you're in a jail, not physically incarcerated, but in a situation where you feel trapped, or you're in a season where you're like, I need to get out of this. Sometimes you just need to stick it out. You need to stick out your sentence. If God has sentenced you to jail for 2 years, for 2 months, 2 weeks on something, whether it be a decision, whether it be your career, whether it be your academics, if God has put you in that situation, Best believe he has something amazing. Don't try to bust out. Don't try to get your cupbearer. Don't try to get your friends to pull you out of that situation because they don't have a plan for you. God does. So listen to this. 2 full years later, Pharaoh has a dream. And then look at what God does. God makes that guy that was in jail with Joseph remember about Joseph. Now hold up. I will remember you from a few days ago. If you told me a dream and I was like, yeah, you're amazing. From 2 days ago, a few days ago, I'll remember you. But 2 full years later, God is like, remember Joseph on this man. And when Pharaoh has a dream and no one can interpret it, this chief cupbearer comes up and he's like, yo, Pharaoh, I knows a guy. I know a guy who can interpret this dream for you. So do you see what I'm trying to get at? If Joseph had been able to get out of that jail sooner than God had planned him to, it would have messed up the whole divine plan of God. God's plan was, okay, you landed up in jail. It sucks, but I still got a plan. I've still got a plan. I'm gonna take you from the prison to the palace. Okay? Okay, I'm gonna take you from the prison to the palace. Because who knows if Joseph had gotten out 2 years earlier, where he would have been. Would he have been in the vicinity of the Pharaoh so that he could be able to be in line to be the most powerful man after Pharaoh in Egypt? We don't know that. So sometimes don't be in a rush to get out of a situation that God has put you in. Obviously pray about it and actually find out if this is a God situation or if you're in a season of something, and just ask for grace. Because nowhere when I read here do I see that Joseph was complaining about being in jail. Instead, Joseph made the best of where he was at. He became, kind of like the manager of operations at the jail, right? So he had a positive attitude even if he was in a bad situation, okay? God does things for a reason. Sometimes he may not have put you in the situation, but you find yourself in a situation and he lets you stick it out because he's trying to grow you. He's trying to teach you a lesson. He's trying to better your life. That God can use any situation, whether it be from our stupid mistakes. He can use any situation for our good. Okay, so trust in the process. Trust in the process of God. Even though it may be situations that we don't like, it may be learning curves that we don't particularly agree with, God is able to work all of that for the good of those who love him and are called according to his purpose. So just pray that you are called according to God's purpose, that you may walk in the will of God, so that whatever may happen, you know that God is going to turn around and work together for your good. Okay, so your situation isn't permanent. Delay is not his denial. He may delay your release from prison 2 years earlier, but best believe that 2 years later, when he releases you, he has some great plans for you. Thank you for listening, guys, and I hope you're encouraged. I love you guys very much. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, all of that good stuff. Goodbye.